welcome to Used Bike Heaven, the show that takes the worry out of finding the right used bike for you. Each week, myself and the Men and Motors team will help guide another weary biker through the quagmire of the second-hand market. We'll give him 3 gorgeous bikes to ride and all the information he'll need to choose the right one. So let's introduce you to the stars of the show, the bikes. First up is our sports offering this week, the Kawasaki ZX6R. Next up is our big powerful muscle bike, the Honda CB1300. And last but not least, in the shape of an adventure bike, the Triumph Tiger. So that's the bikes. Let's meet the lucky so-and-so who gets to ride these 3 machines. This is Neil Moore. He's 35 and he's a manufacturing maintenance manager at Bentley Motors. He currently owns a CCM R30, but he's looking for a bike that's exciting to ride and can munch the miles with his son on the back. His budget is £6,000. But we couldn't let Neil jump into our second-hand swimming pool without a set of Dr. Rod armbands. Rod, bring on the advice.
I'll be back later on to offer Neil some advice on the 3 bikes he's going to be testing, so I'll see you again in part 2.
Thanks, Rod. And once Neil has chosen his favourite from our 3 suggestions, he'll don his war gear, adopt the brace position and go hell for leather into the showroom to thrash out the best deal for the bike of his choice. And our gruesome twosome, Paul and Steve, will be on hand to nudge him in the right direction.
Yes, we are here as usual.
We are here, wide awake.
We are.
Ship shape and ready to go.
Let's go then.
Right.
Well, how could we manage without them? But now I am with Neil and Dan. Hiya.
Perfect.
So, what are you looking for today, Neil?
I'm looking for something big and comfortable. I've got a CCM R30, which is really good fun on your own, but if I take my little boy on the back, it's not quite as much fun.
Little boy. Dan, how tall are you?
6'3".
He's not little, Neil.
No, I'm afraid not.
So we're looking for quite big bikes
Yes,
then, obviously.
yeah.
Right, okay. Now, so what are you going to use it for?
It'll mainly sort of at the weekends, go to bike shows. The wife's got a bike as well, so we like to go out all 3 of us. It's sort of covering sort of 200 miles-ish, you know, so it's got to be quite good.
So a long way. So we need something comfortable then for you as pillion, don't we? Yeah. Right, okay, so what's your budget?
6,000.
Oh, you're going to love me. I like to break the budget normally, but I've got 1 at 4,000 and 2 at 6,000.
Very good.
Shall I give you the lowdown on them?
I'd love to.
Okay. First we have a bike from that great British biking manufacturer Triumph. It's their Tiger. Taking on the hardcore world of adventure bikes, the Tiger looks like it could chew up and spit out the whole of the Serengeti's bad boys. Snarling away, there's an 885cc engine that will produce 84 brake horsepower at full growl. This is enough to get the Triumph up to a very respectable 128 miles per hour. Today's bike is a 2002 model, has covered just over 2,000 miles and is priced at $5,995. It also has plenty of rear seating for Neil's son to enjoy. Will it be Neil's next bike, or can one of the other 2 steal that crown? Today's second bike is a very tidy Kawasaki ZX6R. Lying somewhere on the touring side of sporty, the ZX6 will give its rider a comfortable ride when the mood takes them, but it'll also devour a set of twisties with ease when asked to, all the while giving the pillion a smooth ride. Powered by a 600cc inline-4 engine, this Ninja will produce just over 100 brake horsepower and take it onto a very impressive 160 miles per hour, which made it the fastest 600 of its time. This bike has covered just over 7,000 miles and was first registered in 1999. The dealers today want £3,669 for it, well within our budget. Will this Far Eastern delight whet Neil's appetite, or will our third and final bike blow him away? And finally, we go from Ninja to Sumo with Honda's CB1300, more muscle than a Mr. Universe contest. Looking like it'd kick sand in the face of any of its rivals, the CB1300 will effortlessly glide its rider to the thick end of 140 miles per hour. This is thanks to its colossal 1,284cc inline-4 engine that'll produce 99 brake horsepower, but more importantly, it oozes torque, producing 86 foot-pounds. This CB1300 is an 03 reg and has covered a measly 1,600 miles. It's very competitively priced at $5,995. So will any of these 3 have that special something that'll make Neil part with his money? Well, keep watching. Right then, Neil, right then, Dan, we're going to set you off on the Kawasaki, but first off, what do you think of it looks-wise?
It's nice. It's a nice sports-looking bike. If I was going to have a Sport 600, it probably would be a Kawasaki because they're slightly bigger in the frame, I think.
Yeah, they're quite chunky looking, aren't they? Yeah. I mean, I was thinking, looking at your frame, you might be better off with a 9. So it's something to think about.
Definitely,
if you're enjoying this.
Yeah, if I like this, perhaps step up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it might be, I don't know, it might be a little bit more roomy. So if you want to hop on then, get your helmet on and stuff, and let us know what you think to it comfort-wise. Now, I've actually been on one of these quite often and I really like it, so I'm just going to see what Neil thinks to it. So then, how are you going to get those long legs? I hate the fact it's got long legs. I wish I had long legs. Woo! This looks, you dwarf it.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah. But it looks good. It does look good.
Yeah.
Good. Good. How is it for you, Dan?
It's a bit cramped.
Is it?
I haven't quite got my legs.
You've not even
up
got
yet.
your legs on the pegs yet. Right then, will you get off and let us know what you think? So then, Paul, Steve, what do you think Neil is going to make of the Kawasaki?
I think if he didn't have a pillion on the back, he'd probably enjoy it.
Cracking bike, the ZX6. A lot of bike for the raw thrills, really. But as a two-up sports tourer, not ideal, perhaps. Eh?
No, forget it. If he did have a pillion, I think he'd love it because he'll find it fast. It's powerful.
Yeah,
But
I
he's
don't know.
not going to be able to enjoy that.
He's
so
a big lad himself as well, you
He
know.
is a big lad.
I just think he might be better off with something that's physically large.
Yeah, he's
for
going
all
to feel a
sorts
bit
of
cramped up, isn't he? Yeah. Well, let's see how he goes on then.
So guys, you must be sweltering. But don't worry, because we're going to get the wind in your hair again. We're going to go straight onto the Honda. So it sounded like a bit more power would have been all right then?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, it would have been nice. Yeah.
Yeah?
It was a nice bike, just a bit bigger perhaps, maybe. Like the 900.
Right. Okay, and what did you think then, Dan?
It was pretty hard to get on.
Yeah.
But once I was there, it wasn't that bad.
Not too bad.
No.
You could do a couple of 100 miles on it then.
Oh,
Good, 20. Let's
20,
take it.
20
Let's
will
take
do,
a
man.
note off. Right, we're moving you straight onto the Honda then. So what do you think of it looks-wise then?
Nice, very nice. Sort of retro without being too retro, you know, it looks from the 70s but not made in the 70s. You know, nice
exactly.
and big.
It is nice and big. I mean, we've gone from like 600 to 1300.
Yeah.
So you have lots of power there, and I mean, it's going to hold the two of you quite nicely, I think.
It's a Honda as well, so it should be good.
It's a Honda. It'll be
Yeah.
smooth.
Smooth, yeah.
All right, then hop on. We need to know what you think to it.
Okay, thank you.
You look. Those legs are getting in the way all the time, aren't they? You look fantastic. That's much better now, Dan, for you. All right then. Enjoy yourselves.
We will, thank you.
So, Paul and Steve, what do you think Neil will make of the Honda?
Well, it's funny, isn't it? She was saying, oh, lots of power from a 600 to a 1300, but of course, you know, cubes aren't everything.
No.
I think you'll find it a lot less sporty than a ZX6R.
Oh, of course he will, yeah, but it's got a one-piece seat, hasn't it? Big seat, his pillion, the lad on the back's going to love it.
Oh, he's miles better. I had an
Perfect.
XJR 1300, which is very similar.
Yeah.
And my wife was much happier on the back of that than she was on a sports bike.
Oh, I don't doubt that.
And he's going to be happier riding it. I think one thing he'll miss is it hasn't got a screen.
Yeah, he might miss that, but he's used to the supermoto style. That won't worry him too much. But he'll like it. It's a big, comfortable, smooth bike, and his pillion's going to be happy. So
I think it's much more suited to what he's looking for.
Absolutely. Let's see if he agrees.
So I'm pleased to say Neil and Dan are now back on the CB1300, and it sounded like Neil had all the power he needed. It sounded very comfortable. So it sounded like you liked that.
Very nice.
Very good.
Very nice, yes.
Yeah? Comfy for you, Dan? Did you throw yourself off?
yeah, much more.
Yeah, really. I mean, nice, smooth Honda.
It drives itself, any gear, doesn't matter, any revs. It was really nice, yeah. I couldn't feel Dan's elbows and knees hitting me in the back, so he must have been a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah. So how do you, I mean, the fairing side of things?
Not too bad. I was expecting quite a bit, especially with this helmet on, quite a bit of turbulence, but it was really, really good. The wind seems to be, whether that does it or not, it went straight over my head.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant. Well, I know you're dying to go on the Triumph, but I know you're also dying to cool off a little bit.
Yes, please.
So you can take your helmets off, chill out for a bit, and we'll see what the Triumph's like after the break. So that's it for part one, but we are going to see how the Triumph fares against the CB1300 and the ZX6 in part two. See you then. Welcome back to Used Bike Heaven. Today we're with Neil and his son Dan, who are looking for a nice big powerful bike to munch away at the miles with the two of them on it, no problem. We've done the CB1300, they love that, nice and powerful, does everything they need. We've done the ZX6, nice and powerful but a bit cramped because Dan is 6'3". And last but by no means least, we're onto the Triumph Tiger. Guys, what do you think of this?
Big. Yeah, again, it's a bit like the Supermoto, but a lot heavier and obviously a lot more cruisery sort of style.
Exactly.
You know, so.
Yeah, it looks like it'll take you two big fellas, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Right, well, we need you to hop on then
Okay.
and let us know. I mean, it's like you say, you're used to this style of bike, aren't you?
Similar sort of position, yeah.
Dan doesn't even need to have any effort getting over on the back there.
It's over.
That's a big, tall bike. Have fun.
Okay.
So, Paul and Steve, last but not least, the Triumph. What do you think he's going to think of that?
He's going to be very familiar with this style of bike.
He is,
because
isn't he?
he rides a CCM.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's going to like it. Because
I kind of agree with you, but I'm not sure. I've never really liked the Tiger.
No, I've not, and I've never been a great fan of the triple cylinder motors either. I think they're closer to a twin than they are a four. I just think they feel a bit.
Well, he's used to a single, isn't he?
Well, yeah, he is used to a single. I think having come off the Kawasaki and the Honda, he's going to think this has got a bit of a rough edge on it.
It's maybe too close to what he's already got. I think he's and two up, not so brilliant either.
No, not
the lad on the back didn't look comfy, did he?
No. So I don't know. I don't think he's going to be too happy with it.
Well, let's see what he makes of it.
Well, Neil and Dan are back on their third and final test, the Triumph Tiger. They've already done the ZX6. As I say, they liked it, but a bit cramped. The CB1300, lots of power. And it sounded like you quite liked this. Fair bit of power?
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, nice engine. Yeah. Sounds good.
Does sound very good, doesn't it? Yeah, how was it for you, Dan?
Very comfy, yeah.
Yeah? Could do a few miles on that then.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, you said the front end was a bit light.
Yeah, it didn't feel like it was digging in roundabouts, you know, like the 600 and the Honda nearly as much, but when you go roundabout you feel like you've got some weight on the front, it really feels like you can pin it down. This, it just felt a bit light and skittish. Yeah. I mean, perhaps it's because we're both sat very much towards the back and sat bolt upright, they've perhaps not got the weight on the front.
Yeah, it's just got that kind of style of riding, isn't it, really? Now, it looks to me as if you need to cool off. Maybe a cold drink? Yeah, well, let's head back to the showroom and we can give each bike some scores.
Superb.
OK?
Yep. And
hopefully do a deal. But it's much nicer being in the shade, guys, don't you think?
Absolutely, yeah.
I'm enjoying my drink, but yes. I do need to know each bike we give a score to in different categories. So we need to cover them.
Right.
The ZX6, what did you think to that?
Style-wise, I'd probably give it a 7 out of 10. It's nice, you know, it's a nice racy looker. It's perhaps a little bit dated compared to some of if you're looking against other 600s, you know, it's perhaps a bit dated like the CBRR, stuff like that. Yeah. Performance-wise, 8. You know, it was up there. It was really nice.
Was it?
Handling-wise, 9. It really did go nice. It was,
Gosh.
It ran the roundabout, even 2 up. You know, it was clinging on for dear life, I think. But yeah, it was quite good. Practicality, 5 though. Yeah, I think.
Not really built for a 6'3" pillion.
No, it doesn't come with steps, and I have to help him. Help his leg on every time.
I noticed that.
Yeah.
Right. So the CB1300.
Yes, I like that. Styling-wise, I'd have to give that an 8. Yeah, it was nice. It's retro without being too retro. You know, it's not in garish colours. You know, it looks meaningful. Nice. Yeah. Performance 9. It was very powerful. You didn't need to change gear. It goes from 0 revs and it just pulls all the way through. Handling wise, again, it was smooth. It's quite a big bike, but I like big bikes. I like the feeling of the sort of the meaningfulness on the road. So yeah, it was good. Practicality, very high. I'd give it a 9 because I was comfortable. Dan was comfortable. You could get on it, you know, without struggling too much. And he liked the big deep seats.
Righto. And last but not least, the Triumph.
Triumph. Yeah, styling wise, I'd give it a 5. I really wanted to like this.
Only a 5?
Yeah, no, it's the more and more I've looked at it, the more and more I think it's just big and bulky and for no sort of reason, you know. Performance-wise, I'd give it a 6. You know, it sounded beautiful. Yeah. It really did, but it's not got the power of the Honda, and it's not got the power band, if you like, of the Kawasaki. Handling-wise, I didn't like it at all. No, give it a 5.
Well, you felt that front end was just
again, it's probably because I'm used to riding my CCM. I'm used to sort of laying it down, the front end digging in, you know, foot out, getting around the bends, and because the tank's so big, you can't slide forward, and I just felt the front end was so vague. Yeah. I didn't feel like it was planted enough to really sort of rely on it. Practicality, it's pretty high. I'd give it an 8.
Would you?
If you're going across Europe and you're going in a straight line, it'd be brilliant.
Right.
You could get the panniers on, big tank, sit there for hours. It was good.
Okay then, well, I mean, obviously then, the CB1300 gets tops on the scoreboard.
Absolutely,
but before you make your final decision, we have to go and speak to Dr. Rod and see if he can influence you any other way.
See what he says.
Okay?
Okay.
The Triumph Tiger offers an almost unique riding experience. All the poise and presence of a monster trailer combined with that beautiful rasping 3-cylinder engine. Some early problems with the triple have now been worked out, but do expect a little patch of vibration at around 4,000 RPM, and the gearbox can feel a little sticky on cold mornings too. On the other hand, the Tiger will return 45 to 50 miles to the gallon, and back tyres can last for up to 10,000 miles. The Tiger is a pretty big bike, and at a shade over 200 kilograms is quite hefty too, but once you've climbed up on board it, you may just want to stay there. The ZX636 broke the mould for middleweight 600cc sports bikes, even if it was by upping the capacity to 600 and a bit. It's a sharp and crisp middleweight sportster, but will demand time spent on careful suspension setup to get the most out of it. But what you are getting is a fully time-served member of the Ninja family, with solid engineering and state-of-the-art performance. Any minor top-end rattles are usually down to camshaft end float and can be safely ignored, but do look out for any obvious signs of accident damage. Check the rear suspension linkage for play and make sure the brake discs aren't worn too badly either. Also keep an eye out for chain and sprocket wear, because they can disappear quite quickly if the bike has been ridden hard. Honda's CB1300 is a massive retro bruiser, braving the elements with just the raw power of that huge 4-cylinder engine. It is very well built and it should be as reliable as clockwork. Servicing any naked retro bike is a doddle, as the engine is hanging out in the breeze just waiting for your attention, and it'll take a matter of moments to get down and dirty with the oil filter. With full EFI and engine management systems, that's probably about as much as it will ever need. Most retro bikers also cherish their bikes, which means if you do find a second-hand CB13, it's likely to be in quite good condition. But do keep an eye out for the attentions of the burnout brigade. Make sure there's plenty of serviceable rubber on that back tyre and the chain and sprockets aren't about to breathe their last.
So Neil, has Dr. Rod confirmed your decision?
He has, yes.
He has. You're going to go for the CB1300?
Definitely.
I thought you might say that. Well, Dan, you stay here with me, and you better go and try and bag that bike then, hadn't you?
I will.
Don't forget Paul and Steve are on hand, should you need them.
I'll need them.
Okay. Isn't that right, boys?
He'll need us.
Do you think?
I don't think he'll need us. No, I think he's made a great choice, though.
So do I.
I think he's picked he's picked the one we said he'd pick, hasn't he?
Easily the most suitable for what he's looking for.
Absolutely.
Taking his lad out. When he's out on his own, he's got his CCM, he does a bit of racing, that's how he gets his kicks.
Here we go, here we go.
All right, Neil.
How you doing?
How do you enjoy that then?
It was nice. I liked all three bikes, but my particular favourite's the CB1300.
Right.
I'm quite interested in that.
Right.
Just wonder if you give me some more details, perhaps some price and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
no problem at all.
What price have you got that bike on for?
5695.
5695. And that's an 03, is it this year?
It's registered this year in March.
Right, okay.
It's brand new, isn't it, virtually?
Do you think it's an ex-demo? I'd want to know. Is it an virtually a brand new bike?
And what tax has it got on it?
It's 6 months from March, so it's September.
Right.
Runs out in September.
Okay. And what sort of servicing would be involved on a big bike like that?
Right. Bike's had its first service already, so your next service will be 4,000 miles or 12 months from date of registration. So your bike was registered 1st of March, so 1st of March next year, or 4,000 miles. Cost for that is approximately around about £90, between £80 and £90. Your next service then is 8,000 miles or at the 2-year mark, whichever comes first. And that's a little bit more expensive, which would be about £124. But that is your major service.
So that's not bad for a major service.
Yeah, so your major service is every 8,000 miles.
Right, okay.
From there, okay. You've got balance of manufacturer's warranty.
Which runs out?
In February 2005.
Right, okay.
Standard 2-year manufacturer's thing.
Yeah.
So that's just transferred over to you
That's not bad,
in the warranty book.
Okay.
I don't think people need to get hung up on the servicing of new bikes. I mean, even something like an R6, which years ago would have been a race bike type power output, just has normal servicing. Unless it's something really exotic, like, I don't know, an MV or a CCM, something like that. Most bikes just get regular servicing,
That's right, there's nothing tricky about them, is there? No.
Or that expensive.
If I was just going to pay cash, and I don't need finance,
right? What
sort of deal would you be able to do, perhaps for servicing, or perhaps put a bit more tax on, do you think?
Right.
No, do it on the purchase price.
Do it on the price.
If you can afford to just go in and pay, forget all this stuff about servicing and warranties. Concentrate on purchase price.
What we do for you, the bike isn't due till 4,000 miles. Okay, had its oil change at 600 miles, between 5 and 600 miles. I'll put the bike in the workshop for you. Have it thoroughly checked out, everything from a safety point of view, drop oil and filter. So when it goes, you've got new oil, new filter in it as well. And then your next service will be obviously at 4,000 miles.
It's got to have the bike checked out.
That's very good of him. It's virtually a brand new Honda. He's going to have it thoroughly checked out. Why? What's wrong with it?
As far as the tax is concerned, there's no point in chucking that away.
No, yeah, it's a waste.
At the end of September, beginning of September, when your new one is due, if you pop in, we'll give you a check. You can nip to the post office and re-tax it.
Yeah.
That's not a problem at all.
He's giving him nothing.
Note. And he hasn't.
Why
asked
did
for
he
a
just
screen.
say, right, I've got $5 grand? That's it.
I've got $5 grand.
What can you do? You've got to get the price of the bike down.
Well, I've got a lot to think about there. I'm very tempted.
Right.
But what I probably need to do is go sit home, have a cup of coffee, think about it,
Okay.
and perhaps pop back tomorrow.
That's not a problem.
Superb.
Right, thanks
for
very
your
much.
help.
Thanks very
Nice
much
to see you
indeed.
again.
Yeah,
Cheers.
great. Cheers.
You have got a lot to think about there.
Say, look, I've got $5 grand. I don't need it. I've got my CCM. I can walk out of here right away on my CCM. I'll give you $5 grand. Take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it.
See what he says. And we need we need to be straight in there on purchase price, don't we?
Absolutely, yeah. If that bike's $5.5 grand near as damn it, he needs to say, I've only got $5 grand.
Yeah,
but I want that. And he's going to say, you can't have it, but you can have it for 53. Yeah.
Write your number on a piece of paper, go, I've got $5 grand. I've got my CCM. I do a bit of racing. I don't really need it, but I've got $5 grand for a new bike. There's my phone number.
That's right.
See what you can do.
Well, you better say, well, forget the tax. Throw me on a little flip screen. Put me a screen on the bike.
Stick me a screen on.
Yeah, that's right. You want a few extras, bits and pieces, an alarm, something like that, a tank bag, whatever.
We're too British, aren't we? We're too polite. We don't want to go, I've got $5 grand, take it or leave it. There's my number, give me a ring.
I think you're right, I think. But anyway, as we say at the end of the day, again, he's done no damage because he's got to think about it. A cup of coffee and he's going to think about it.
Well, it looks like Neil's going to keep his CCM, and I suspect that's because of the fun factor involved. And it also looks like we tempted him slightly by the CB1300, and it's a big possibility. But when your pillion passenger's 6'3", there's plenty of bikes on the market to go at. Well, that's it for this week. Join us next time on Used Bike Heaven.